Ian, clearly disappointed. Where did that go wrong today?
The goal at the end of the first half, set-piece goal, 3 minutes into added time, and that's the killer blow really, because I think that Bromley do what they do very, very well. That they defend the box so well. They put bodies on there. They play with this low block, and they slowed our tempo a lot. And if you give them something to hang on to, they're very, very difficult to break down. So I actually thought first half we played well. I thought we came out the traps much better than we have done in recent weeks. I thought we hit the post. We had 2 off the line. If one of those goes in, I think that we opened the game up much more. But the longer Bromley held on, and then they get that goal right before half time, they came out, they had something to hold on to, and we couldn't break them down. We still created some chances at the end, but we have to be able to take one.
Was the physicality, the size of those Bromley defenders something that your players found difficult to come to grips with?
No, not really. I mean, only on the set piece, it's come in and it's a second phase. It's dropped down and they've just got it off of Sam. So, but they had a lot of long throws, a lot of corners. In general, we dealt with them very, very well. The game dies a death after that. In half time, you see that every and they do it well. Like I'm not. It's not to criticise them because they're 1-0 up and they should do that, but the pitch is slow and then the game gets slowed down, and it felt like there was no energy in the second half, and you play a team that you saw first half. I think they had all 11 in their kind of defending third. They're so difficult to break down, and they counter attack well. So listen, they did their job very well, and I think, of course, if we take one of those early chances, it can be a completely different game. We don't, they score, and that's why it's hard.
In the second half, it felt like the urgency had gone out of the game, and it felt like at times if there was any team that was likely to score, it felt more likely that they were going to get a second rather than not get an equaliser. Is that fair?
No, I don't think so. I think they had a couple of chances that they got on counter-attacks, but I think the bigger chances were at the other end. I think their keeper made 4 or 5 good saves towards the end. They had another one. We had another one off the line. So I do think we were in and around their box, but just not clinical enough. So you're right about the urgency, but that also comes when you play a team that's holding on to something. The game slows every set piece. They were clever. They kind of won the free kicks at the right moments and stopped our tempo, and we had to restart. So I just think it became a big challenge in the second half that we didn't overcome.
As far as the week goes, obviously it's not the way that you'd have looked for it to pan out with just the 1 point from 6. I asked you about the disruption to the schedule beforehand. After this game, does it feel as though all of this is symptomatic of losing some of that momentum because of all the postponements? Yeah,
I mean, if you take Southend, Dagenham, Eastleigh, Kings Lynn and Wrexham, I think we've played some brilliant games there. But when we went into Wealdstone, we'd had 2 weeks since the last league game, and that, of course, you could see that a little bit in us. But I say the first half, I thought we played well today. We're unlucky, Ruben hitting the post and the goal, the 2 off the line. I think, so I can't fault how we start, but yeah, it looked like we've just lost that little bit. We were coming from behind in other games, and today we didn't kind of get that extra edge when we needed it in the second half.
General consensus from supporters that I've seen on social media, which, as we know, is always a fine barometer of truth, social media, is that the football club needs to sign a striker. Is that right?
Well, we have a striker. Yeah, we have good strikers. I mean, I think until 2 games ago, we were the second highest scorers in the league and still 2 games behind everybody else. So before this, we scored 4 against Southend, 3 against Wrexham, 2 against Dagenham, 4 against Kings Lynn. So I don't know, but
no then.
Well, yeah, but then Wealdstone was the first time. It's the first 0-0 I think since I've been here in almost 50 games, and it's been very few games this season where we haven't scored a goal. So I think for our strikers, Ruben and Carl Wootton and the other attacking players, we have more than enough to create and score chances. So I don't see that as being the issue now.
Is there anything that you look out there on the pitch and go, if I only had that in any position on the pitch?
No, we have enough to win the game. We have enough players to win the game. It's not about the players. We're good enough. We've won a lot of games with these players, and they're very good players. It's the first time we've lost since November. So I don't think we need to hit any panic buttons. We're a little bit below where we'd like to be, but again, I reiterate, we've got some games in hand that we need to maximise the points on. When we've done that, I think the league looks healthier for us, and we just have to trust in what we're doing. It's not, like I say, first loss since November is not necessary to hit huge panic buttons and start thinking that we need to change all of the players. We've played some really, really good games, and we've got to keep going.
Yeah, it's their first defeat in 8 games, and that's the thing. I guess people look at the league at the moment and go, ooh, they're 8th, but maybe not factoring in the fact that there are those games in hand, and they're games in hand, some of them, not to disrespect any teams in this league, but they are games in hand against teams where you look at and think, well, hopefully that'll be fruitful for them.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's important that we've got those games in hand, and if we maximise the points, I think we're in the middle of the playoffs, not too far off the top, and there's a lot of football to play. There's so much football to play. We know we can still keep getting better. Different, at the start of the season, Dagenham flew away with it. Look, they've dropped off, and then Grimsby were flying, they've dropped off. Stockport are flying right now. But if we think this is how it's going to be from now until the end of the season, I think we'll be surprised. A lot of teams still in the running. We're absolutely one of them. We just pick ourselves up from this and go back at it for the next game.
Deadline day comes between now and the next time that we'll speak. Confident it'll be a quiet one for you?
Yeah, for us it will be. I'm absolutely sure about that. I said at the start, start this window, I didn't see any realistic bids on our players. We haven't had any, so that's fine. That's good for us. And yeah, we like I say, we need to trust the players. They've done a great job so far this season. This is a little blip, but I credit Bromley as well. They played their part in the game. They were really, really resolute, difficult to break down, which we knew they would be. So we just take it on the chin and we go again.